Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Aisha. I'm a certified trauma-informed coach and manifestation guide, and this is day 5 of our I've Decided challenge. Now, if you have not already gone through day 1's video, please go to that first. That is where I detail this challenge. I talk about what we're going to do for the 30 days, which is basically just declaring our affirmations, declaring that we've already decided. So on day 1, you're going to say, I decided today. And then it is day 5. So what we're going to do is in the comments, if you're participating, we are going to say, I decided 4 days ago, because it's day 5 of the challenge. So 4 days ago, I decided I am a healthy person. I decided I am an expert at manifestation. I decided I am experiencing everything I desire right now. Those are my 3 affirmations. I will be including my affirmations in the comments below so that I'm participating with you. And if you're finding this video down the road, not to worry, this is a forever challenge. So whenever you find this video, whenever you find this challenge, if you participated in now or whenever you're finding it, it doesn't matter as long as you stick with it from day 1 to day 30. You don't even have to start on the 1st of the month. It's kind of easier to keep track of if you start on the 1st of the month, but you're welcome to start on the 5th or the 17th or the 21st. Whenever you're finding this challenge is whenever you're supposed to be doing this challenge, and it is all about accountability to yourself, to your goals, to your visions, to your manifestations. So I'm really excited that everybody is participating. I love reading your comments and seeing what you're manifesting and what is exciting you and what you're working towards. So without further ado, this video is going to be about environment. So I did touch on accountability and taking personal accountability, and I want to branch off of that idea of, you know, it's up to us to decide our reality. Well, it's also up to us to decide our environment. So imagine you have a garden and there are weeds and there are flowers. Your environment needs to be upkept. Your garden needs to be upkept. So if you find yourself surrounded by people who are not believing in your dreams and they're not supporting your visions, that's still part of you. That's still you pushed out. And so what you need to do to navigate that is either step away from that person for a while or those groups of people, or you need to revise those people. Now, if you feel really overwhelmed by manifestation, you want to manifest a bunch of things at once and you're so focused on whatever it is you're trying to bring about, and revising just doesn't fit into your schedule, you shouldn't feel bad for taking a step back from those people, because you can always revise it again in the future. What I mean by this is I have people in my family who I turn to for support. Like my sister and my dad are very supportive of me. When I go talk to them about something I'm struggling with, like my mindset is not there, or I'm feeling just like bogged down and kind of demotivated, they will help me feel motivated. I go to them and they listen to me, and I feel validated, and I also feel empowered to change. Like I will have conversations with my dad and my sister about real spiritual stuff, like really deep conversations about growth and how far I've come. And both of those people have been in my life for a very long time. So they've seen my transformation. They've seen me go from this person who was really struggling at some point, who really couldn't handle life, couldn't handle anything. I was very sensitive. I was unfortunately struggled with depression and anxiety, and both of those people have seen me go from that version of myself to someone who is healthy and happy and glowing and tenacious and persistent in my dreams. So I know that those are my safe people. Those are flowers in my garden that I get to enjoy. I do also have, unfortunately, some family members who are not as positive, and those would be the weeds in my garden. So I have a choice whether I'm going to keep those weeds in my garden and decide to turn them into flowers, right? Because ultimately a weed, what we consider a weed, is just another type of plant that serves a different purpose. And like even dandelions are considered weeds, but dandelion flowers are actually very medicinal, and their leaves are edible, and so on and so forth. So it's just the narrative. So with those people who I have a long history of seeing them as negative, I have to be careful about how much time I'm spending with them and the kind of conversations I'm having with them. if I have a conversation with them that ends up turning negative, that can make me lose momentum a little bit because they're not feeding into that dream. And so rather than continue to expose myself to those people and continue to have those conversations, I usually will take a step back and go, okay, I know that this person has been negative most of my life, but that doesn't mean they have to stay that way. And I will revise them a little at a time. And in fact, when I was younger, I had kind of a strained relationship with my dad. I didn't hate him. We weren't angry with each other, but I just didn't feel as closely bonded with him as I do now. And I had a lot of stories and I had a lot of narratives that he wouldn't admit when he hurt me, or that he was too stubborn to see my point of view, or that like he wouldn't take accountability. So those were my stories for a long time, like in high school and middle school and high school, when I was too young to even understand like the impact of my thoughts and how psychology and human behavior work, right? So back then, that was the narrative, that was the story, and it was really hard to have a bond with him. And then one day I was like, you know what? I can't keep having this strained relationship. I can't keep having this, like, I know that he loves me and I know that I love him, but we're just not connecting the way that a father and daughter should. And I really wanted to heal that because I knew that he was a good person, and I could acknowledge that he was supportive of me in so many ways. So I really wanted to heal and mend that relationship so that it was a happy, healthy, thriving relationship, so that this is someone I can turn to in my time of need and feel supported and feel loved and feel guided and all of that good stuff. So little by little, I started to have these difficult conversations of like, hey, when you did this when I was younger, this is how it made me feel. And the first couple times I did that, of course, like he was resistant to it, but eventually I started to take the narrative of he wants to listen to me and he wants to build this relationship with me. And so little by little, when I would bring up those difficult conversations and share my emotional experience with him, he started to get it. He started to listen. He started to validate. He started to go, oh, okay, I can see, here's what I thought I was doing. And I acknowledge that that's not how it made you feel, or you just weren't paying attention to that. And then eventually, like year over year over year, our relationship got better and stronger because I was seeing him in such a positive light. I was seeing him as a loving and caring and affectionate father. I was seeing him as someone who I could rely on, and that was so impactful for me going from my teens to my early 20s to have that. So I reformed him. I turned him from a weed into a flower. And some people in my experience, some people I'm related to, I just don't have the patience or the energy or the time to try to do that. They've shown me my whole life knowing them evidence that suggests that they are not healthy people, that they're not happy people, they're not positive, and I have love for them because they're my family members, but I don't have this strong desire to connect with them the way that I did with my dad or the way that I do with my sister. And so I don't have that energy right now. Maybe in the future I will. Maybe it would be easier to just do blanket affirmations of like, my family is always so healthy, they're always so happy, they're always so prosperous, which is something that I do affirm for like my husband and I. But regardless of that, the point I'm making is you either have to walk away or you have to reform them. And so the people you tend to find yourself surrounded with, they impact you. There's a quote that has been floating around a really long time. I'm not sure who to credit it with, or credit it towards, but it is, you are the combination of the 5 closest people you spend time with, or like the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that's so true, because if you're talking to someone negative every day, don't you think that's going to impact you? Because you're focusing on the negative every day, versus if every day you're spending time with someone positive who's really like interested in developing themselves and growing and being future focused, like that's going to bring you forward towards the future, because whatever you focus on and whatever you persist in that focus on, it grows, it expands, it continues to multiply. It is inevitable that it will compound over time. And so this also goes for not just the people that you interact with face to face, but hi, I'm a person too. You're interacting with me right now by watching this video. So the content that you consume is part of your garden as well. And there are weeds and there are flowers. And so when you look at your social media content, if you're scrolling through Instagram, do you find yourself getting jealous or upset? Do you find yourself feeling depressed and crying all the time? Like, what posts are triggering you? I know we've all done this before, where you're scrolling and you see a video and it's like so sad and you're like, oh, like it's like something happens that's like really tragic and you're crying, and then you swipe up and it's like a funny cat video and all of a sudden you're in this like really funny laughing mood. It's crazy how easily manipulated our emotions can be by that scroll. So what I do is I will go to like the little ellipses, which is like the 3 dots menu, and I will click not interested. Or if I'm on my YouTube feed and I see a channel that has like a topic of something that I don't want to see, that I just don't believe in or support, I will go, don't recommend this channel. And it's that simple. That's exactly what you want to do. Everything in life that you're creating, you're either saying yes to or you're saying no to. Yes, I want more of this. I would love to see more of this. I want to surround myself with more of this. Or no, I want less of that. I don't want this in my reality. That's not an experience I care to continue experiencing. So make sure that you're curating and cultivating your garden. Make sure that what you're putting into your mind and the people that you're talking to and the conversations that you're having are in support of who you want to be. And this is a skill we all have to master. This is a skill of learning how to redirect. It's a skill of learning how to, if somebody is showing you in your 3D and you're having a conversation that's really negative, what I want you to do is revise on the spot. I want you to, in your head, like you can half listen to them, just especially if it's something important. But if it's not that important and they're just kind of complaining on a loop, I want you to go in your mind and remember a time that you guys had a laugh together and you were just cracking up so hard and you were both laughing and it was the most hilarious thing. And go back to a moment where you were both bonding, where you shared a heartfelt conversation and you both felt like you loved each other. You know, go back to a memory that you have of that person that is positive, and it will help you to see them in a more positive light. It will help you. And because everyone is you pushed out, they will begin to show you more of that positivity. I do this with friends and, like I said, my parents and my siblings, and people who I've had an argument with, especially if it's a recent argument or a recent dispute. If that's still coming up, I will go in my head and go, everything's forgiven, everything is good now, more good times are coming. Like, remember that time where we were laughing about this silly thing and we were both like out of breath, like gasping for air, our faces were red, our stomachs hurt from laughing so hard. Like, that's where I will take my brain, because I know even if I can't change that moment instantaneously, which you can, but sometimes, you know, there's a bit of resistance there, you can change it instantaneously by changing where you're at in your mind. You can time travel in your mind. You can teleport in your mind to a new place, a new time, a new moment to exist in that feels better for you, that feels more supportive, that is more positive. I know that this video was helpful for some of you. Thank you all for participating in the challenge. This is the first of many challenges that we will continue to do. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. That way you get notified. I will be continuing to post videos, check-in videos, all the way till day 30, so that I'm accountable with you. I'm doing this challenge with you. I'm saying my affirmations with you. I'm deciding with you, so that you feel supported and that we're doing this together. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.